This is a picture I took up at City of the Rocks in Idaho. And I love interesting rock formations. When I do these thumbnails, it's kind of like I'm practicing my painting. And so it's helping me to look more closely at the objects in the photograph, and I get to decide which ones I want to put in different areas. So this is kind of a third of my watercolor painting. So maybe I want that main rock there and this one to come a little lower. And maybe I want this nice sagebrush here. Maybe I want it to bleed right off the top. Coming down here, there's a lot of nice rocks. And do I want them to go right off the page? Here's a lot of interesting little rocks here. And below there's a lot of plants and grass that comes over here. Now, there's all these mountains back here. And if I put all these mountains back here, is that going to add to my painting or is it going to detract? Now, my first thought was I would leave those off. There's some interesting things back here going on too. And then this up here is a different value. And do I want the rocks to be the lightest place? Or do I want the sky to be the lightest place? So if I kind of gray down that sky a little, then my eye is going to go right to this rock formation. Maybe I want that tree to stay within and I want this line to be interesting. But sometimes you just have to keep working until you kind of try to figure out what's going to make the most interesting painting. So there's two. And here's two more, so I can look at them all. In there. So maybe there can be some nice sage green back here to kind of echo. So those are some colors that I think are going to look good on this painting. And I want it to be kind of a smoky sky. So I've changed my mind. I'm going to come down and just wet this area. Oh, there goes a drip. So that, even though it's just water, the paint is going to follow that. So I don't want to leave any areas that the paint can follow down. And I don't know how much water really is on that watercolor paper, but if I just roll that across, that takes all the excess. Okay, want the blue coming in here, and I'm going to be really careful there that it doesn't go down. And then I'm going to come across here with a darker color, and that's just coming down. It almost looks like a green. So if it's looking too much like a green, I'm going to have to add some of this color to it. And heading over for the orange, and I want a little more of this. We've got drips going all over the place. but I'm hoping I can come back and fix those. And then I'm going to take, so I'm going to get these up before they stain. And I want to take my paper towel and just get some wispy clouds in here. It's going to go right back and just come off that direction. I think I want to come down and get some of this nice shadow area. I'm going to bring it out so it covers that sky. Darker there, and it comes down, it's quite sharp right there. So I'm going to pull that direction, and then here it comes over and here, this way. So you've got that coming in here, and then right here it goes down. And where else? Right along here. Maybe I want some variation in some of those areas, so I'm getting a little darker color to add in a few places, and maybe just bring that right up into that bush so it continues up. Then this is going to come down here. I like the way that shadow just comes down into, follows all along there. And maybe we want just a few shapes here and there. This is going to come down, and I'm just going to continue this shape and kind of go right up along the edge there because it's sinking into the grass. And I'm going to just soften that edge. So I'm going to go back over and soften that edge while it's still wet. So I'm kind of working colors all around the painting. And maybe I want to add a few things to this white rock so it's not entirely white. And I'm going to come down, add some orange on that side, and soften that edge. And where else? Maybe a little here and right along here. And right there. So I'm just looking at my painting. These are going to be off in the distance, and I want the light to be hitting that the hardest. So maybe I'll just go over those. Okay. So that looks good, and maybe I'll echo that same color down here on the trail and bring it up into there. Just make that a little darker right there around the edge. Just pulling up with this little rigger brush, getting a fun edge. Come down on the other side here. And a little bit up on here. Do a little bit up here to just make that edge of that cloud. Bring the wash out into the sky area. So a little more defining of the cloud up in the sky. and then washing it up into the sky area. That's given a little definition that I like. And I love the edge again that this rigger does, so I'm just gonna go right off the edge here with it, and little, kind of have to look and see if you can get what you want. And if you accidentally get something different, that's good too. I'm adding a little orange in there. And I want to leave a little bit of the sky showing through. And then I want to really come down here on the edge, and this mountain is completely identified by this nice, dark, rich. Really defines that rock there and makes that stand out. So I'm liking the way that looks, and I want that to be the darkest area. So maybe we just want to add a couple of places where it shoots up in there, defines it more. Just come down right out of there. I'm liking that. And we just, if I could just add that there, and then a little right here. What I end up doing is just looking around my painting and seeing which part I have to work on next. So I've kind of got my shape. Now it'd be nice if that dark area could just almost combine. I'm going to just come up here with this color. And I'm just here. And right there. A little bit of orange. Oh, so that's an accident, and it's a nice accident. So I'm just going to let that stand. And that's nice there, but I'm going to come down here, bring it down this way. I'm going to get my smaller square brush and kind of get some of these shadows in. All right, I want this rock here to kind of fade into the background. So I'm going to do that by adding a little orange color and wash over the whole thing and blend that back in a little. So I'm just going to glaze over some of this area here. Make that trail come down. So maybe this over here. Starting to look better there. And I'm just letting it run. So at this point, I stopped looking at my photo and my my value, my little thumbnail, and I decide, what does this painting need? Let's see if we can pull it up a little. So this is making your eye go here. And that's where I want my eye to go. And a little orange right here. And bringing that right over there. Okay. Okay, just a few little things of calligraphy, and then I'm going to have to go to another project, so. And we'll see how this picture looks.